This is you. There's your dad. His dad. His. Keep going. Soon you'll fly past factory floors and phossy jaw and stagnant leech ponds, past a kid stripped half-naked climbing into a brick chimney 9 inches wide, and eventually you'll land on someone crouched in a doorway somewhere, soot in every crease of their skin, praying today isn't the day they get stuck. That person, that's your ancestor. No name, no shoes, no idea that a distant descendant with a snack addiction and a phone that streams video from space even exists. But here's the thing. If that kid, or any of the thousands of people in your ancestral chain, had gotten wedged in the wrong flue at the wrong moment, or breathed in gas from the wrong cesspit, or bled out in the wrong pond, you wouldn't be here. You exist because 1,000 people before you didn't die when they easily could have. You're not lucky. You're the byproduct of stubborn kids doing horrifying jobs and somehow, barely, making it to tomorrow. So let's rank 6 of the worst jobs in human history. From bad but survivable to you might as well write your will at birth. Let's get into it. Number 6. Night soil man. Somewhere in your bloodline, there's a person whose entire job is other people's waste. Every city, every century before modern plumbing existed anywhere on Earth, it had to go somewhere, and that somewhere was them. Usually at night. By hand. With a bucket and whatever dignity survives the shift. They climb into pits untouched for months. Sometimes those pits release methane, enough to knock a grown adult out cold, enough to kill before anyone even realizes something's wrong. No mask, no training, just a lantern, a shovel, and hope that tonight isn't the night the gas wins. Cities need this job done, but they don't want to watch it happen. Night soil men get pushed to the edges of town, forced to work after dark specifically so decent society never has to smell the thing that keeps their streets clean. Essential and invisible. In the exact same breath. Rough, but survivable. Onward. Number 5. Leech collector. For close to 1,000 years, doctors believed bleeding people cured almost anything. Migraines, fevers, plague, a bad mood. Somebody had to supply the leeches. That job falls to poor women, and if that's your ancestor, here's her morning. Wade into a stagnant pond, bare legs exposed, and wait for bloodsuckers to latch onto her skin. Then peel them off, one at a time, and drop them in a jar to sell. Some collectors use a sick old horse to wade in first and draw the leeches away from themselves. If there's no horse to spare, it's her legs instead. Hours a day, every day, in water thick with parasites and bacteria. Infection, constant. Blood loss, constant. Pay, barely enough to survive. A job that's bleeding her dry, literally. Number 4, Victorian match girl. She's maybe 10. 12-hour shifts, sometimes 14, dipping matchsticks into white phosphorus, tray after tray, until her fingers go numb. Nobody told her it's toxic. Nobody checked. Over months, the fumes eat her jawbone from the inside. Workers call it phossy jaw. Gums swell. Bone glows faintly green in the dark. Eventually, surgeons remove the jaw, not to cure her, just to stop the infection long enough to keep her alive one more year. She's earning pennies, docked further for fines, talking, dropping a match, having dirty hands from a job built to make her hands filthy. Factory owners know a safer alternative exists. They use the toxic version anyway. It's cheaper. It takes 1,400 girls walking out in 1888 to change anything. Not an inspector, not a doctor. Her and every other match girl, refusing to go back in. Number 3, Roman era tanner. Turning hides into leather is disgusting on a biblical scale. Step 1, soak the hides in urine, collected from public latrines to loosen the hair. Step 2, scrape off rotting flesh by hand with a dull blade. Step 3, soften the leather with a paste made from animal brains, or dog feces, because the enzymes work and nobody in Rome understands why. This is a daily routine, hands submerged in waste, in a workshop so foul that Roman law bans it from inside city limits. Downwind, away from everyone who might complain about the smell. The smell soaks in permanently. No amount of washing helps. Marriage prospects, grim, social standing, near the bottom, next to gladiators and gravediggers. Life expectancy, also grim. Caustic chemicals, constant bacteria, zero understanding of germs. No way out once you're in the trade. Number 2, mule scavenger. Picture a massive spinning machine inside a cotton mill. Moving parts everywhere, threads snapping, gears grinding all day without stopping for anyone. The job, as a small child, is to crawl underneath it while it's running. Not after it stops, while it's running. Duck beneath the machinery, collect loose cotton, clear jams before they slow production. One wrong move and a hand gets crushed, or a scalp torn off in under a second. No warning, no time to pull back. Factories hire kids on purpose. Small bodies fit under machines that adult bodies don't. That's the entire job qualification. Accidents are so routine that mills keep amputation kits on site, the way an office keeps a first aid kit by the printer. Mill owners know exactly how dangerous this is. Inspectors document the injuries. Newspapers print the missing fingers, the crushed hands, the funerals for kids who never made it to their teens. Production continues anyway. A small body under a running machine is cheaper than stopping it to clean it properly. 7 years old. A job that could kill before lunch. Nobody asked if there was something else they wanted to be. Number 1. The chimney sweep boy. If your ancestor drew this card, you almost weren't born. Starting age, 4. Sometimes younger. A poor kid in 18th or 19th century Britain. Sold, apprenticed, and sent up chimneys. And some barely 9 inches wide. Narrower than a doorway. Narrower than his own shoulders should physically allow. He strips down, sometimes fully naked, because clothing snags on brick, and slow is dangerous. Then he climbs. Bare elbows, bare knees, scraping against brick still hot from that morning's fire, because nobody waited for it to cool. Sometimes he gets wedged, tight, in the dark, soot in his lungs, no way to call for help anyone can hear. Kids suffocate right there, inside somebody else's wall, while a family eats breakfast a few feet away. And the solution some masters use? Light a fire underneath him. Force him to climb faster out of pure panic, because panic moves faster than instruction ever could. The soot never stops. It packs into open cuts on his knees and elbows that nobody treats, nobody even looks at. By his teenage years, if he makes it that far, he risks a cancer named directly after the job. Chimney sweeps carcinoma, one of the first cancers ever linked to a single profession, discovered specifically because so many sweeps got it and nobody else did. Malnutrition, standard. Stunted growth, standard. A full night's sleep, not happening. Back on the roof before dawn, climbing again before his body recovers from yesterday. And the starting age, 4 years old, because his own family sold him into it, just to afford food for the siblings who got to stay home. It takes until 1875 and the Chimney Sweepers Act to stop this. Decades of documented deaths, kids dying inside brick walls, before anyone with power finally calls it a problem worth solving. So here's the thing, somewhere in your bloodline, there's a decent chance one of these was your ancestor. Maybe not this exact job, something close, something brutal enough to break most of us in a week, let alone a lifetime. And they didn't quit. They didn't update a resume or look for something easier. They climbed the chimney, waded into the leech pond, crawled under the running machine, because the alternative was starving, and starving wasn't an option. Not when people depended on them to bring something home. You're watching this on a phone more powerful than the computers that sent people to the moon. Maybe you're annoyed about slow Wi-Fi, or a boss who emails too much. That's not nothing. Bad days are still bad days. Nobody's asking you to measure your life against a 4-year-old's, but the bar for unbearable used to sit a lot lower, and people cleared it anyway. Every day. Their entire lives. No other option on the table. You exist because somebody climbed the chimney anyway. You are the miracle your ancestors nearly died in a cesspit for. So cut yourself a little slack today, and hit subscribe. Before your boss's emails do what the Fossy Jaw couldn't.